Yes, let's start this. In this lab, first I want to start with saying that Quincy and the rest of the free code camp crew are the goat of this industry. In no way, they are not. I very much appreciate their efforts. They are legends, true legends. Anyways, let's start. In this lab, you will build a proofreading tool that analyzes arrays of words for palindromes and repeated phrases. A palindrome is a word that reads the same forward and backwards. For example, race car and level are palindromes. Okay, but hello is not. A phrase is a sequence of consecutive words. For example, in the array, this is the array, the cat sat, the cat, the phrase the cat, a sequence of two words, appear at a position 0 and 3. Appears at positions 0 and 3. Okay. 0, 1, 3, 4. Okay. Fulfill the user stories below and get what do you mean? Build a proofreading tool that analyzes arrays of words for palindromes and repeated phrases for two things. You should define a function named is palindrome. Function palindrome takes a word string as its argument. Takes a word string as its argument. So it should return true. The word reads the same forwards and backwards. Case insensitive. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. 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 الله أكبر، الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رضيت بالله رب المسلمين دينا. اللهم صل وسلم عليه. So my guess is we're gonna have to destruct it first and reorganize it, the string itself. So takes a word string as its argument. Let's check destructing strings. How was it destructing string? That was destructing. It's an arrays. How do you destruct? It's an arrays. Working with arrays. Then certain value. Copy. No. No. Working with arrays. Key characteristics. You access. Add and remove elements. What is that? And how does it work? Can you use string and array methods to reverse a string? This is what we need. Can we destruct a string? Split, reverse, and join. Working with arrays. Split, reverse, and join. Into individual characters. Splits the string. Okay, so individual characters. Okay, reverse. It will make an array. Now we want to reverse it. And rejoin it. And join. So we're gonna take word first and then 2 lowercase. That's because those functions are case sensitive. Meaning if you have a capital letters, it's not gonna equal. If you have an A capital letter, it's not gonna equal an A small letter. So we need to lower case it to lower case, and then we're gonna split it in here, because this is where we split it. So inside the quotation marks, if we put a comma, it means you're gonna separate, you're gonna split it where there you will find a comma. But no, we're gonna split the whole words, meaning that split. Anyways, I think you get the idea. Or let me. It says here, just to explain it. It said which splits string into individual characters, which splits strings wherever space occur, which splits the string at each dash. Okay, better than my explanation. Split, reverse, then join. Can we do it in one? We'll see now. Dot join. Now join again. We're gonna have to specify where we want it to join, and then we're gonna return word. Let's check this out. Console.log is Blender. gonna give it the string we want it to. Hello. Okay, baby. It did not do it. Should be ole. Something wrong with my, perhaps the reverse. Am I spelling it right? The reverse. The reverse e. Reverse e. So this is not gonna work together. What about this? Nope. Doesn't even spell it. Split it. Does it do the capital? Does it do the small? Let's check. Hello. It's not doing anything. What's happening? No, 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 no. Hello. Okay. What's wrong with me? Why is this not working? Const word equal okay, declare x, return x, return x. Yep. Ole worked. Okay, so apparently we have to define it, because it's not being saved. We have to save it in a variable. Okay, so this is one. And then we're gonna check if let's check something. Const y equal my variable names are bad, I know, but it's for saving time. But when you write code, you have to be explicit, meaning that you have to, so that when somebody else read it, he or she will be able to figure out what this variable is for, what does it do. So we'll change it later, but let me check this something out. Word that includes x, return y, return y. False. So includes work. Includes work. It works. You don't have to do anything other than includes. After it works, because if we said word equal word includes word, true, so it works. Includes work. Includes works. Back to our naming, our variable naming. Word reverse what are we gonna give this one? What name? This palindrome is I guess that's the best I can come up with. Word reverse return palindrome is. Okay, you should define a function as palindrome that takes a word string as its argument, which should return true if the word treats the same forwards and backward. Case sensitive. Case sensitive. Case sensitive. Insensitive. No, case insensitive. Case insensitive. Yeah, case insensitive meaning that. Okay, you should define a function name. Okay, let's check if this passed the test. It passed, huh? True regardless of case. Regardless of case. So meaning okay. So we have something here. Const word lower case. So we should equal. So we should take this, put it here, and then we should take this. Command C, Command V, and then we should put here also no here. check, it passes. So there was a little problem here and we fixed it. You see, this is how you know you should really test your code before deploying it. You should really test it because sometimes you just forget or miss something. Anyways, let's go to the next function. Next function, two. You should define a function named find palindrome breaks. We don't need this anymore. Perhaps we need it later. To check to test our next function. So the other one function find. So this is the name of the function, find palindrome breaks. Takes how many arguments? Takes words array as an argument. Words arrays. Let's go ahead to the logic. It should return an array of indices of words that are not palindromes. What is that? What does indices mean? Indices of words that are not palindromes. I get what palindromes mean. It should return an empty array if the input is empty. So it should return an array. So let's array of words equal input is empty. So if words are equal undefined takes words array. That's argument. Let's check this out. Maybe we could add something. We'll see. Array as its arguments, it should return an array of indices of words that are not palindromes. It should return an empty array if the input is empty. Let's check this out. Console log type of array. It's gonna give me array, right? Oh, okay. So where we have a problem. Type of it's not working. So that's type of it's not working either. Wait, got a problem in the if statement. Of is not a function. It's not a function. String. And test this. Let's jump right ahead of it's not defined. Const x. No. About very sure it's like this, written like this. Gonna check this later. If words equal undefined, got no time for checking the type of function. So that takes the words of arrays and its argument should return an array of indices. What does indices mean? Indices. Indices of words. What does that mean? Indices of words. An index is an alphabetical list of keywords and their corresponding locations, such as page numbers in a document. Create a word index. You individually mark entries and then use the built-in generator. They have to use Claude for this. Claude. Words in a sequence. For each word sets counted from 0 in programming on 1. Example, the car, the cat sat, the is at index 0, cat is at index 1, sat is at index 2. Yep, if you meant something more specific like indices of characters or word positions in an array from canon, tell me down. So what does he mean? Okay, turn an array of indices of words that are not palindromes Indices of words that are not palindromes. Indices of words that are not palindromes. That are not palindromes. So first, we gotta check it's gonna take words. So we're gonna split words. Okay. We're gonna split words. So the first thing we're gonna do is let words, it doesn't have to be words, split equal words dot split. That's gonna give me an array, right? Where we're gonna split it at where is space. Okay, it's gonna return. Let's go. So return words split. Let's give this a try. Is it gonna return an array or is it gonna return a string? I know we have to give it something. So it says something here about, okay. So it's gonna take a words to, it's gonna take a words array. That takes a word array as its argument. You know, there's an easy one actually. A words array. Because it's gonna take a words array, it's not a string. You don't need this crap. We do not need this crap. If words is not undefined. So we're gonna go and we're gonna do a for loop or for let word of words, and then we're gonna take it here. I'm gonna put the argument here. Let words of words. So first thing is we're gonna do, we don't need to destruct the array. We're just gonna need to run the function. The first function. Just gonna have to read. And this is baby. Gonna have to run this function. Okay, run this function. And then if then but how to get equal. Do we need the first one though? Equal true. Then open parentheses. I don't think we need this. I don't think we need this. But we'll check. Do I have to? We'll see. Okay, then if it's true, okay, thanks. Argument should takes words array as its argument. It should return an array of indices of words that are not palindromes. Indices of words that are not palindromes. Okay. So we should say false. Also let word index equal word dot index of let's check this out. And then it's gonna sorry. Excuse me for a moment. I'm gonna have to pray. Sorry, you guys. I'll go back later. لا شكرا. لا. Thank you. الله. 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 حسنا. الله. 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 سمع. الله. 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 سمع. الله. 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 سمع. الله. سمع. can't be minus 1. What do you mean minus 1? And how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why? 5 times all minus 1 minus 1. It's going to give me the same index, huh? What if we change this to words? Words. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 1. Ah, there is a problem. So it gave me 0, 1. This is 0. This is, does it all? Tas, tag. It doesn't work. Give me some word that is not a blender. All of it is not a blender. But we have a problem because the word right now is the indices. What do you mean by the indices? The indices of words. Of words that are not palindrome. Just return an empty array if the input is empty. Wait, give me a word that is level. Sats. Give me here. Level. It checks. So my logic is correct. If only there is gonna be no identical words, meaning or duplicate words in the array. So I'm gonna go ahead and I don't want to waste time in thinking about that logic when if there aren't any gonna be any use for it in this lab. So I'll go ahead and check if this passes the tests. So I'm gonna go here and what did I say? Array of words. Array of words dot push word, and then after After the if, eventually here at the function, we're gonna return array of words. What do you mean it's not defined? It's there. No. So yeah, here is where it's not push. We're gonna have to say word index instead of words. Word index 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's check if it passes the tests. This fine should be a function, should return empty. The input fine return indices of non-palindromes. Fine should return an empty array when all words are palindromes. Okay. Find repeat. So this actually passes the test. So we're gonna go ahead and the third one, we need to fix it. If it works, you don't need to fix it. So this passes the test. So let's go ahead and make the third one. You should define a function named find repeated phrases. So they got it. They got the problem here. I think they're gonna fix it in another function. Repeated phases. I think they got what I'm aiming to. Okay, let's go ahead and see. You should define a function named find repeated phrases. Find repeated phrases. And we get it takes words as an array. Takes words. It takes a words array and a phrase length number as argument. A phrase length. So I get another argument here. Another argument here, and then curly parentheses. It should return an array of all start indices where a sequence of phrase lengths. What do you mean? It should return an array of all starts indices where a sequence of phrase length consecutive words appears more than once in the array. Phrase length? What does the phrase length mean? Is it a number? It's a number as an argument. It should return an array of all start indices where a sequence of phrase length consecutive phrase length, it's a number, it's a sequence of phrase length consecutive words appears more than once in the array. Consecutive words, why do we know consecutive? Consecutive words appear more than once in an array. What do you mean? Just return an array of all start indices where a sequence of phrase length, which is a number, phrase length, sequence of phrase length, consecutive phrase length, words appears more than once in the array. What do you mean? Consecutive words including the index of the first occurrence. It should return an empty array if the phrase length is greater than or equal to the length of words. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let array of all starting places. Sequence of phrase length consecutive words appears more than once in the array. Of repeated words indices equal array initialite and then we're gonna say if where it says here should return an empty array if phrase length is greater than or equal the length of words. If phrase length is smaller than words dot length in parentheses. Curly parentheses, so overlapping sequences should also be counted. What do you mean? I don't understand. Where a sequence of phrase length consecutive words appear more than once in the array. Consecutive words, meaning that the and it's followed by the consecutive words. It should return an array of all start indices where a sequence of phrase length phrase length. What do you mean phrase length? Phrase length. And find repeated phrases. Takes a words array and a phrase length number as arguments. It should return an array of all start indices where a sequence of phrase length consecutive words appears more than once in the array, including the index of the first occurrence. It should return index of the first occurrence. Return an empty array, including the index of the first occurrence. I should take this to Claude. Index of the first occurrence. We know the index of the first occurrence. Appears more than once in the array. Consecutive words. Consecutive words appears more than once in the array. Explain. It means given an array of words, look at every possible chunk of phrase length. Consecutive words. What does that mean? Phrase length, consecutive words. A phrase. If the exact same phrase, same words, same order, appears starting at more than one position, appears starting at more than one position in the array. Record the starting index of each place. Each place it appears. Return all those starting indices as an array. Example words A, B, A, B. Phrase length 2. Phrase at index 0, A, B. Phrase at index 1, B, A. Phrase at index 2, A, B. Index 2, 0, 1, 2. The phrase length. I should say AB appears at index 0, index 2. That's a repeat. So the answer would be 0 and 2. The answer would be 0 and 2. Okay. Okay, I get it. Can we use? I feel because we can't use this anymore. We have to. Okay, listen. It's greater than or equal to the length of words. Once we get this, should return empty array if length is greater than or equal the length of words. Equal the length of words. Okay. Overlapping sequences. Overlapping sequences should also be counted. Overlapping sequences. What does that mean? Overlapping sequences. What does that mean? A, B, B, A. What do you mean? Indices where a sequence of consecutive words appears more than once in the array. This should be the. Actually, you could use that. But wait. What do you mean overlapping? Overlapping sequences should also be counted. index of the first occurrence, including the index of the first occurrence. That's maths. It should be. It will. False starts indices, premieres, and once the index is the occurrence. It will. It will. What do you mean? They should also overlapping sequences to also be counted. What do you mean? Explain. It is gonna overlap. As you don't skip over indices just because this phrase already used those words. Every starting position gets checked, even if its words overlap with the phrase you already counted. If its words with the phrase, example words AA, stands to AA, AA. Okay. Phrases share the word as one, but that's fine. They still count as two separate occurrences of AA, one starting at 0, one starting at 1. So the answer includes both indices, 0 and 1. Oh my god, this is actually hard. So I get that again. 0, 1. Phrase. Should give me only 0 and 3. So what should I do? What should I do? This we get it. I know. What are we gonna do? Construct. Should we use construct? Construct is gonna be at the length. Constructed at the length. But what if it's an AAA? Construct. Destructuring. How does that? There is FreeCodeCamp destructuring. Split. Splice. I think splice takes arguments. I know this. What does unshift? The other argument is okay. After green, after what if we put after 2 or this is an easy one. It's an easy fix. This one. Actually, we could actually we could change this. Let index of of last word actually we have to wait. Let's check this out. Equal word index. Let's check this out. And here we're gonna add on do we need to let's check this out first. Console.log it worked. 1, 2, 3. It worked. Easy fix, but back to the first one. So the index of, great to know. Let's see if I could use it in this one. Arrays. What do you mean? Splice. Start index. Yep, splice. How many items to remove? It is splice. 622 01 2 orange and mango. If you put 0, it's gonna be apple and banana. 0 is gonna be apple and banana. Yep. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make let splice words equal words dot splice, and then the argument is we're gonna need the for loop. For loop, let's make for loop for I no, let I equal 0, I is less than words dot length, and then I plus plus. Spliced words are from I, starts in I, and phrase length. Okay. Is it gonna give me? It is gonna give me an array, so it's gonna be an array of arrays. So here, let's array of arrays equal, or we're just gonna have to let's check this out. Array of arrays dot push spliced words. Spliced words. Then outside the loop, we're gonna what do you mean? Don't fuck with me. Return array of arrays. Is it? What if we what's happening? What about set? This does what I want, huh? But it skips set. It skipped set. Why? What about set? What about cat and? What are you doing? Look, this is working in my favor, but it's not supposed to work like this. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, really? It doesn't? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, because it's returning array of arrays. Let's go back to our test. This is not gonna work. Zero. I don't think I'm getting splice correctly, or he doesn't get it correctly. Start index specifies the index at which begin modifying the array. While items to remove is an optional parameter indicing how many elements to remove. So it's supposed to be cat. What do you mean? Console console.log spliced words spliced words. Ah, console.log I. Something wrong. 01. What does that mean? أمي لا تجين ها. dot 5 5. Something wrong here. It's only, you see the I. What if we take this whole crap, this whole thing out, and took this and put it here. Splice is not gonna work, huh? Ah, you see, this actually, what happens here is that the words array is shrinking. This is why it's never gonna work, because the array itself is shrinking. See, so the first time it took the and the cat, it shrinked, it became sat the cat. The length of it shrinked to 3. This is never gonna work. Unless we make copies. This is never gonna work. So what are we gonna have to do? What are we gonna have to do is we're gonna have to you see this. First, let's try something. First, push words. See, so what we did is we pushed the whole words into it. And the second thing, we're gonna do another loop. We're gonna do array of arrays of words of arrays of words. And then let array of array of arrays equal, so what you're gonna do, gonna come here and no. Okay, I'm fine with this. Let's go. For I let what do you mean? Let I equal 0. I is less than words. Wait. No. Then array of array. Then array of arrays dot length I plus plus. I'm gonna come here. We're gonna give it this one, and then we're gonna give it this one, and then and here's the trick. Dot splice I phrase length. Yep, that's push. Didn't work, huh? As I was. What's happening? Something. Array of arrays. Wait. Before this, console.log array of arrays. The cat sat the cat. Okay, then it shouldn't be like this. Never. Return array of arrays of words. Words. So wait, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Something is happening. I don't know. It goes. This is array of arrays. Okay. The I is 0. I is 0. It goes to. It pushes here. Okay. Array of arrays. I 0. This one. Here. This is 0. And the phrase, it splices it from I. From 0. Splice it from 0. Which is that cat. Twice. That cat. It works. Okay? It goes here. Then it goes again here. I is 1. This is I is 1. Here. And it splices it at I, which is 1 twice, meaning cat set. It's supposed to be cat set. What's happening? Why is this not working? What's happening to the actual array? This needs okay. Words. Why is word's length? Why the word's length is still shrinking. You see what I mean? The word's length is still shrinking. Even though we pushed it here, we didn't make a copy of it. The words are still shrinking. Look. Console.log words still shrinking. Sad. It's sad. The words itself is still shrinking, so this logic is actually working, but we need to work on this one. We need to make, I don't know, copy shallow copy. It's not gonna be copied, so we need to push. This is never gonna work, the splice thing. You know why? Even if I made the copy, how many copies do I need? I need a lot of copies. So do I still have to push it into words? Push is it from the start, but push is gonna be from the start. So it's gonna modify the, if I push it again, if I push it here and I also push it somewhere else, you know what I mean? I'm gonna have to think of something else. I can't use distracting because I don't know any way where I could use a for loop to automatically initialize variables. That would solve a lot of problems, so I can't use distracting. So what do I need? Oh my god, what do I do? Does it say if it's zero? Wait. What if the length is zero? It's never gonna be zero, huh? It's a phrase. It's never gonna be zero. Okay, so think of way. Arithmetic 2 0 1 0 1 0 1 is 0 1 equal 1 2, but it has to be the length of it is 0 1. This is because it's 2. It's 2 0 and 1. That splice. It's not gonna be there. What are you gonna do? I can't initialize it. How am I gonna destruct it? Wait. Let's try something else. I can take this. I can take this for loop. Let's take this for loop and remove it for a while. Okay, let's Big Studio. What is it? Build a proofreading tool. JS build proofreading tool. .js. Stay there for a while. Let's go back here. For loop. It's word of words. Oh my god. What if I pushed it? Words by word. What if I change it into a string? What am I gonna do with this string? Split it, and then what? It's gonna go back again to an array, to be an array. It's gonna go back to an array if I split it. So that's not gonna work. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna compare them? 0, 1 equal 1, 2. How am I gonna put? How many pluses are there? Can't find a way to compare it. Should we? Okay, what do I do? Let's look at copies, shallow copy, and let's look at copies. So I want to know how to compare it. Let's look at copies. Splice, remove all the elements. It's not gonna work. Copy.splice. In this example, to create a copy of the original array without modifying it, we use the spread operator. Wait. In this case, splice original copy original. Splice original is still 1, 2, 3, 2, 6. What does that mean? Here we change the 6. 2. We modified the copy. Okay, so this is how. Oh my god, thank god I didn't. Oh my god. So what do I need? I need this one. I only need this one. Come back here. First, we're gonna make let copy equal, so that the copy every single time it goes back over, it changes over and over and over words, and then we're gonna say here, copy dot splice I add phrase length, return that cat sat that cat. Eventually you don't need this, but we need to figure out if they are equal to each other. So we give it, so this is working. This worked, man. And then we're gonna go here and we're gonna say how many ones did it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Again, the length is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, the length is 5. Would it be the same if we took 3? 1, 2, 3. Okay? 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2. Which is 3. And then هذه 1. 0, 1, 2. هذه 2. 0, 1, 2. هذه 0, 1, 0. You're gonna check it out how it's gonna be. If it's 3, it's gonna give me 5. 5 again, let's check. 3. That cat sat. Cat sat that. Sat that cat. That cat. How many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No matter how hard they give it. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's always going to give me 5, which is good because it's the same length of what I want. So what I want to do is now comparing them. Two. Okay. So what I can do is for I let I equal 0, I is less than words dot length It's the same. She's just easier. I plus plus. What I wanted to do is if that's not gonna work actually. It is not gonna work. Mm, 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 mm. You see, the answer was there before I. There's an easy fix to all of this. Actually, we're gonna use this. We're gonna get rid of this, of the last word. We're gonna take this. We're gonna take this, Command C. And we're gonna put it here. And then we're gonna come here, and we're gonna get rid of this. And we're gonna get rid of this because it's working in the test, so we don't need it. And we're gonna use this to give us some it's gonna give us some okay, so I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this here, actually. I'm gonna use this. And then I'm gonna use a for loop. Then array of words. Then array of words. Array dices. And then I'm gonna take this. And I'm gonna say, but I need the length. I still need the length, right? I still need the length. So this is gonna work, but without the phrase length. So what we're gonna do is I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about this. You know what I want to do, but it's not gonna work because there's no use for the words length. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see. Oh my god. I'm gonna push them there, and then I'm gonna see if that's included. I'm gonna keep it. You see, now this 0, 1, 2. Now this 0, 1, 2 is gonna be pushed here. Okay? Pushed here. And then they're gonna be 0 and 1. It's gonna be included here, so it's not gonna be pushed. But I'm gonna I'm gonna find the index of this one using this one. I'm gonna have to think about it. Sorry, excuse me for a minute. Actually, I was thinking for my previous solution, the splice one. And then I'm gonna check if it's included. I'm gonna go each one and see if it's included. So, and then what am I gonna do? I'm a human. I'm a human meaning I could pick it out. I could pick it out easily. So again, this one, I flagged, but this is not gonna work because the phrase length is not there, so it's not gonna work. So actually, I'm gonna take this back. Comments, 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 comments. Ah, yeah. Okay. It does include. Twice, included twice. The counter will give me 2. What am I gonna do with the 2? Give me 2. Okay. But how? Does it include? It will be included. am I gonna get the index of it? Okay, then I pushed it. Counter one. It's gonna be a mess. I'm gonna start giving it but it's still the same. Array of arrays is this. So what are we gonna do? Two, but it has to be two. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is for array of array of arrays. If array of words dot includes array doesn't include dot push array. Dot push array. Else let's put here let n equal 0 equal 1 else n plus plus. Console console.log n. Let. Okay. It's not defined because let. It's still 1. What do you mean? It didn't push anything. Where's the 5 coming from? I got a console log somewhere. Get a console.log. .length. So on. Yes. But it did. The cat sits, the cat sits, the cat. What do you mean? What did it do? The cat sat the cat. It didn't push anything. Did it go over it? Did it go over it? console.log array of arrays. I need to know what's going on. Array of arrays. Okay. Array of words. We got array of words. What's happening here? It's empty. Didn't push anything. But not. It did push. It did push. Now it does push. It does push it. But why is this? It's already here. What's going on? This is not working. Why? This should match this. Includes is the best I have. ذاك. Second tired of trials and error. That's how is it? Doesn't equal. Let's watch this. Let's check this out. Console.log does includes is the best I have. Does wait. Console log. Does this. Does this. Dot includes. This one. False. Why is it false? Still is false. It has to be the same, right? What if we put X? Still false. Includes is the best I have. includes, the problem with includes is it must be the same. It must be the same. Eventually it's numbers. Okay, whatever. Well, it doesn't include each even if it's the same. Still is false. The gap still is false. Equal, what about equal? It's not. Still false. What do you mean? طيب. It's the same. How is it not equal each other? You know, we did that yesterday. So let's check. We did similar. Pantry. What does that mean? Okay, so array of arrays for I let I equals 0, I is less than array of arrays dot then I. What do you mean? Each time it will do the same, huh? It's gonna be the array 15. Can you believe that? Still pushed the cat. Still pushed the cat as well. 15 times. Oh man. Console.log array. The cat sets does this array include here how we know it. Console.log what do you mean? Yeah, should be 0. It's not gonna work. Oh my god. I don't need the array, first of all. It's not gonna work. How many? 15, 19. should be able to put and then 1, 1. What do you mean? What does that mean? No. What happened here? Should be here. 19 still. Eleven. It's pushed it all. Because it goes over and over and over. Yeah, but it's gonna work once. We need it to work over and over and over. So this will go over. So this is not needed. What you're saying is this whole the for loop, the whole for loop thing is not needed. Where's the I? Shut the fuck up. Undefined. What the fuck is going on? What is happening here? For loop. What is still this happening here? It never is. It never is? What do you mean it never is? Because it's not, it's undefined. So we're gonna have to say we're gonna have to it's always if array of arrays of words equally if 0 defined else if else push, it's undefined. What do you mean? Oh my god. Guys, I'm gonna have to go. I'll be back. Take care. I'll be back later on this evening, so I'm gonna have to take my progress, build a proofreading tool. Is it? Proofreading tool. Yeah. Proofreading tool. Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna go out. See you later. This is all. I'm gonna be thinking about it in the outside. Bye. How am I gonna end this without entering this? Okay, bye.